Hi, Philip. Welcome to this chat about the Awareness Intensive and for sharing your experience with it or during the retreat or the process. I would like to ask you, what is the Huisin for you?
Mm, um, I would say it's basically a lab that I can explore myself and focus, focus again and again into my experience, amplifying my awareness. It's also kind of a game that we play with ourselves and that we can, yeah, just really explore, get to know how our mind works and also a way to meet people and deep intimacy, instant and personal intimacy, which is a gift that's very rare that people access this vulnerability um, with sometimes like total strangers. So it's yeah, a lot of things.
And when you did the first time the Huisin, um, how did you come across to the process? How did you came across to it?
Mm. It was a workshop that was preceding a silence retreat in this community in Costa Rica named Pachamama. I had basically just arrived in the community and and yeah, I wanted to do the silence retreat and the Who's In was the introduction to it. So I was like, yeah, let's go check it out. I had really no idea what it was about, except for that it was pretty intense and demanding. And yeah, it was.
And besides demanding and all that, how was your first experience with it? How did you live that?
Hmm. Well, I think it's kind of like natural to struggle with the exercise, the koan, initially because it's just like something that our mind can't really grasp. And the more you try, the more it's like kind of confusing. And sometimes it can be very fun, but sometimes it's like, what am I like? And it really stretches your awareness muscle. So it's like I think for most people, it's not a muscle that we practice exercise like daily unless you meditate or so I was tired. I was like stretched out and then given that, like it draws out all the emotions, like it just increases the intensity of your experience and then it brings up all this stuff. So I think I cried, like I laughed, I got frustrated, I got confused, I got anxious, just, yeah, pretty much all of it in a very intense way and beautiful way. And also at one point it started being a bit trippy because you kind of like, as you're dissolving into the koan, as you're getting crazier and crazier, I felt I was accessing like another frequency. And I would sometimes just close my eyes and just like, wow, like it's hard to describe, but this sensation that I am nobody. I have no body and I am nobody. And just this pure like light, or I don't know what it was. And just like you just close your eyes and then it's like right there, accessible. And I was like, this is crazy. Like I haven't taken any medicine or, and here it is. Like I don't know what it is really, but that which is. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, and also it's like it's crazy because it draws the beauty out of people after like the second or third day, like as much man as woman, like everybody seems so fucking gorgeous and their eyes are shiny and just like there's this, yeah, depth of connection and love. And even if we don't know each other, it gives this. So the first one was pretty spectacular. uh, I fell in love also. This girl that we started talking for the first round, and the second round she wasn't able to talk anymore. We're meant to talk and she wasn't able to, and then she just started crying and I just started crying. And then for the last three rounds we had together, we just looked into each other's eyes. I know that's like kind of cheating, but just yeah, the vulnerability and the transparency in the state in which you meet. It's like kind of like you can see the other person's soul. And yeah, it's very magical.
And what happened after that? After that experience, um, what happened in you? Like, and did you notice that same happening in your day to day, or after the retreat, or what happened then?
Um, with the girl or with
Well, with your life, with the
yeah.
way you see things, like, or yeah, what happened with that experience?
Mhm. So I think just the thing when you train that awareness muscle, when like that's a 4 day intensive. So uh, it's when you come out into the world, it's like this muscle is still, it's stronger. So it kind of allowed me to shift, to become, yeah, aware of more subtleties. And these subtleties like can be details about someone's behavior or about a reaction that I have inside of myself, and these little things that like, oh, just, oh my God, okay, maybe a contraction in my gut, and just these things that would go, unnoticed before I start grasping them. And it's crazy because then as your awareness increases, you're able to, I feel, kind of like see that in other person. So decode kind of like, oh, who's like, oh, this person is noticing these details that I wasn't noticing before, but now I'm noticing them. So I notice that they're noticing them. And it's like it creates this kind of like thread, invisible thread of understanding, I think, between people that have done this work and that are actively practicing or keeping this muscle firm. And so it helps, like it helps to decode yourself, like your reactions, and understand also. And one, I just like one of the keys is to disidentify, because so much is happening at once, pretty much all the time. So much is happening, and it just depends where you like you lay your attention. And when you become aware of vast uh, the vastness of all that is happening within you and outside of you, and it's harder to kind of just like stick on one thing and just to identify to one part. So it gives you space. Uh, well, amongst many other things, I think this is how it kind of changed my experience of Philippe.
Mm.
Yeah.
And was that a big change that you found in yourself, or was it a subtle change? How was that change for you?
It's it's a bit hard to just isolate it, because the Who's In was the introduction to the silence retreat, which also blasted me open. And then a few days later, I did LSD for the first time of my life, which blasted me open. And then a few days later, I think like 2 weeks later, I did ayahuasca for the first time in my life. So it's like you put all of that together, and like, of course, like you're not the same person. You will never be the same again. It's like you took the red pill, not once, but like, you know, 4 times. So it's like there's no coming back. And you know, I feel then it's integration, which is the challenge, because even in the Who's In, like just closing my eyes, I think the second or third day, like I would access this space, this emptiness, or just, and it was like pure awareness and just bliss, And I'm like, wow, this is so cool. Like, wow. And I was like, I want to hold on to this. I want to have this available for me whenever I need. And obviously, momentum of the daily life, you take yourself out of the structure, you come back to, so you forget. You forget that it's always there. And sometimes, like, even if your mind wants to access it, there needs to be some conditions there to support. Uh, so, and
And yeah,
uh,
did you do it again after that first time? I guess you've done it a couple of times, but for the sake of
yeah, I did it
mm.
many times. And the
Why do it
second,
again? Why do it? Why do it again? And
do it again. Why do it again? Why not do it again? Like, I think if you can relax into it, some people it's very challenging and they can't really kind of access. Uh, um, again, it's just really really challenging for them, and then they will get something out of it, but they don't really get to enjoy it. For me, I after the second day, like I said, I was like accessing bliss. I was like, this is the best, And you get to meet beautiful people and such a deep way. So of course, like I wanted to do it the next year, and then the second year was this most challenging one of all of the 6 time that I did it. The second time because I had expectations and I was comparing, and then I was trying harder to get to somewhere. I don't know where, but I was trying to get somewhere. Be like the perfect mirror, totally unexpressive and cutting myself from. And then, yeah, I went to the facilitator, I think on day 2 or 3, and I broke down crying. I was like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, I am freaking out. Like, I'm just trying to be the best mirror I can, and I feel totally dissociated and separated from people, and it's really hard. And I don't know what she said. It's not really important what she said, but I cried. I had a good release, and then I kind of gave up on trying, and allow myself to be a bit more human. So sometimes I would smile a little bit. Sometimes I would open my eyes, trying to be a good mirror, but still like kind of connecting with people and engaging. And then the joy came back in, and I remember this is one of the things I used to do I think the first 4 years, like I would keep a record of the people that I had broken. So when I mean break someone is that you say something, or you and then they lose it, so they start laughing, like yelling, sometimes like exploding into laughter, and I took pride in that. Like, I guess my child heart was like, this is cool. Like, I think I broke 2 person the first year and then 2 more the second year. And it was like this guy, I remember like he was laughing so much, like wow. And then I lost it at one point because it was so funny. And then the whole room exploded into laughter, and it was like, wow, we are all carried by this. I don't know what it is really, but that this joy or this huge release, like all the tension. And it's usually just like day 3 or 4, people are really stretched, and that was so these moments of laughter, it just kind of like brings you back into your heart, and then you can kind of recenter and go deeper. I think one of the big challenges for me is I was trying to be too rigid in the first year or two, and then from the moment I gave up, then it's like it's good. Like, just every year is different, and after 6 years, it's like, oh yeah, like just cruising, kind of like. So it's not as like at least I would have to do it, I think, longer. This is my feeling. It's like if I want to I'm not getting anywhere, but like the muscle is strong now. So before I get to like stretch it more, I think it would take me more time, more days. Because yeah, 4 days now it's like, wow, I can just relax, connect with myself and other people, and just drop in, drop in, drop in deeper, deeper. So yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, it's a nice description. And what is some things or something specific that you say, uh, okay, this is what I usually get, or this is what I got out of it. Is there something specific that you can pinpoint?
So there's one thing, and it's this I read in like an Osho book, like Diamond Sutra or something about the difference between the right and the left hemisphere, and then brought my attention to like the difference between the left, which and the right eye. And when I was looking into people's eyes, there's like the left eye is like the pool of the soul. Like you can see everything, you can feel everything just by looking into someone's eyes, just like total access. And the right eye is like a camera. So it's kind of like taking in the information. The other one is reflecting, and the other one is like taking in the information. There's really like it's like a fucking if you look at a bird, and if you look into the eyes of a bird, it's like there's so like crazy how yeah, this was one of the things. It's a small detail, but just I felt very intrigued by the human machine. Um, yeah. Then what did I get out of it?
Or also a big change that you notice about either yourself or your interactions or
You tend to look into people's eyes a bit more. Try kind of seeking this. Sometimes it might be a bit intrusive, you know. Not everyone is used to that, but um, also I think with that like that awareness, this muscle and this yeah, I would say just this ability to not identify so much to your stories. It made me relax a bit and relax into my center. I think that was one of the biggest keys, I think, from the second time and the second and third time was like just like I don't have to engage with the other person's experience. The other person is having their experience. It's theirs. I don't have to engage with it. I don't have to sympathize with them. I don't have to actually even give a fuck. I can just relax into myself, be there, be present. So this really helped me understanding the boundaries, uh, like healthy boundaries. And then from there, I was just able to be more detached, and this helped me grow my empathy. And this is, I think, one of the most beautiful gifts gifts of doing this work was like, shit, if I don't have to engage with someone's experience, I can stay in myself. Therefore, I can give them space to have their own experience and not be reactive about what they are sharing, aka empathy. And that was like a huge shift. And I'm still learning, I'm still integrating this because yeah, empathy is a skill. It's like something uh, but yeah, that was a huge gift. I don't actually have to give a fuck about other people's, and it might sound rude when you say it like that. People might be like offended, like not giving a fuck about other people's stories, but it's like really most of it is just stories. what we tell ourselves, what we tell to other people, what they tell themselves, and like can create drama out of it. We can identify, create so much suffering, and yeah. But what if you know that it's just a story, and it's like if you don't like it, you can close the book and start a new one. Hmm. Anyways, I think that's kind of stated a paradox there about empathy and the ability to not give a fuck.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And what has changed from, because you mentioned the first, second, third time, but you say like what happened? What has happened in the last three, or what changes have you noticed? Is it how is your experience after?
Well, you after you had one, like after I think my third one, which was kind of relaxed, I was like, okay, so you come in with ease. So you trust the process, so your system doesn't get so activated. And you have like, your body is used to like the stimulus, the sounds of the bell and looking into people's eyes, so you can kind of drop in easier. Sometimes you can drop in like the first few sessions of poof, you're fully dropped in. And then you just remember, oh, okay, this is where I am here now. Okay. And I'm gonna cruise with that. So it's less tiring. Uh, I felt less high, but also like less low. It's just because you integrate it. This is, I think, one of the keys is that you integrate this state in your daily life more and more as you do it and as you practice. So then when you're back into that space, it's like, oh, it's more known. So I think I could go for like 14 days. I probably I would really be curious to see what is left after that, if there is anything left. And um yeah, and then what like if there's no stress, there's no fear, there's no drama, there's barely any identification, it gets kind of boring. So it's like boring. So it's not exciting anymore. But underneath that boredom, there's like peace, deep peace. If you can just relax into it, and then beauty, like just like beauty, everything becomes so beautiful. Everyone becomes so beautiful, and then it's create like these connections that in those moments, like you don't know, but like because in the community in Pachamama, you can meet someone for the first time in the who's in, and then this person might stay in the community for weeks, maybe for months. And those moments that you shared like are so precious that they can lead to friendship, they can lead to relationship even. That's what happened to me sometimes. Uh, so I would say, yeah, like it's a portal and you become a wizard. I like to picture that. Like you can, can create like open portals and bring this frequency with you. And even if like you go to work, you're back home, you go to work, you enter a room and it's like there's this frequency. Some people might notice. Some people might not notice, but they still feel it. it still affects them. So I think we should train like thousands and thousands and thousands of monks and send them into the world so this frequency can like, and then people start relaxing, people start opening up, accessing themselves a bit more. It's contagious. It's like a virus, but like a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, and just last few words for like people that have never done this process and
Well, if you're afraid of doing it, it's good. It means that you're you're respecting um, you're respecting the potency of the process, uh, which means that you should probably do it. Um, yeah, and and I think even if it might be super challenging, only good can come out of it. It's a gift. Um, and yeah, I wish we would share that with kids, so that they can know this place from a young age and come back to it whenever they need. Yeah.
thank you for your shares and the words and the cool experiences that you lived. So
Yeah. Thank you. Nara.